life, I'd been handcuffed to a set of religious precepts. Once free of those shackles, my search for a supreme being continued. But upon reaching 50, I finally gave up. Full stop. Done. Over. I then chose Grace's path. With that decision, not once did I look back in God's direction. If Section 1 has a point to make, it's that grace can only be derived by walking away from old ideas. If you were like me and spent most of your life getting the same old results, then it just may be time to spiritually recalibrate. Switching to grace as my spiritual fuel has turned my life's night into day. That changeover could not have occurred without the full expression of free will. Stepping into my awaiting spiritual future began with the recognition that I had every right to do so. My only other points about Section 1 are for purposes of reinforcement. My search for grace was based on a series of templates. The first is Lesson 3's village parable. My hope is that fellow seekers will gaze into that tale's mirror and see themselves no differently than I did. The other model I hope finds purchase is Lesson 4's description of grace as a keyring of qualities. If 72 years has shown me anything, it is how many keys are required to unlock life's doors. Grace's full acquisition requires its entire keyring. Developing the ability to use Grace's keys began with my spiritual reawakening. I do have the power to effectuate positive change. Becoming captain of my ship begins with spiritual confidence. I am in possession of all the maps necessary to get me through life's storms. Finding grace is the process of accessing those internal maps. With Grace's guidance, I am then provided safe passage. The combination of keys required to find one's way are entirely unique to each personal journey. However, certain keys are common to virtually every spiritual path. It is those keys a spiritual road less traveled attempts to highlight. The process of seeking and finding grace is one of recognition, followed by our willingness to do something about it. A member of the village summarized Grace's philosophy in 4 words: be a good person. I completely agree. The problem is that every person already believes that he or she is a good person, yet most are miserable. Grace is how I was able to square that circle. Thinking or saying I'm a good person is meaningless. A good person is defined by one's actions. I am not a good person until I act like one. Grace's keys exist for a reason. Each of us, in our own self-created way, has erected a series of doors blocking our way. The only way to get past them is by finding the right key.